Hello and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday, August 16th, 2017. Yes, we're in the second half of the month, coming down roaring to the end of the summer. Are you prepared to take advantage of the big last 4 months of the year as we head into the fall, at least here in the northern hemisphere, and head into the spring for those of you down under on the other side of the world that way. Anyway, as always, I start out by sharing my ride of the day, and today it is this one here, which is not the most realistic rendering of a rhino. Of the nearly 1,000 or so that I have in my collection, it is a very flexible rubber green and very bright yellow rhino. However, a rhino nonetheless in the collection. So here was yesterday catching up on some old episodes of TV shows that are clogging up my video recording thing here of our DirecTV. And I'm like, what do we got back there? And I see the last few episodes of a show I watched for years with my beautiful wife, Michelle. We like this show because she's a big fan of James Spader. And so we, I don't know if it's his hairdo, I don't know. And so this show called The Blacklist. Now, this show is one of these, I just always chuckle with these that glorify mass murdering psychopathic criminals. You know, The Sopranos and Goodfellas and on, like the stars, the character we're supposed to be sympathetic to, and we see their inner workings and their demons, their problems, and oh, they're so much like us. Or what. But when it comes right down to it, this guy, this Blacklist show, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the guy is like a notorious multi-millionaire, globe-trottling, just mass murdering criminal who more than once, including this episode last night, just takes out a gun and just shoots a guy right in the chest, right in front of people from the FBI. So that's the idea of this show, is he is like giving a list of criminals to the FBI to help them catch them in return for his immunity. But you would think that immunity would be for past crimes and not for future ones, that right in front of these FBI agents constantly he is just shooting people right in the head of the chest or whatever. So anyway, kind of fun. But man, I had to sit up and take notice and actually write this one down, because at one point in the show, actually James Spader, the criminal, is one of the last couple episodes here, and he is now somehow at odds with another mass murdering psychopathic criminal, mass murderer that he was like partners with, but they had some kind of falling out. And she is the woman that played like I think she's the same one that was in like the Poltergeist movie from like 40 years ago or whatever. I just remember the little Poltergeist lady. This house is clean. Like, I think that was her. But anyway, so they're saying the same line at one point. It's like a split screen, and they're in two different places talking to people, and they say this line. I had to write it down. And they're like, there's an ancient saying. And by the way, I then went to my computer and typed this into google.com and could not find any ancient saying of this. I was like, wow, I never heard that saying. But I'm gonna teach today based on something like this saying. But here was the saying, very interesting, and something a criminal might say. So they both said this, both of these criminal mastermind psychopathic mass murderers said, if you want your enemy to become your friend, create a problem for him and then solve it. I was like, is that a real saying? Because that's diabolical. I mean, it makes sense, but that's really diabolical. Like, create a problem for your enemy and then solve it. This is my mind. This is why I can't deal with like science fiction movies or Harry Potter or Star Wars or anything, because my mind explodes with these fake things that are like, can that be real and whatever. But here's the deal. It reminded me of a truism in the world of sales, and why sales is so easy when you do it the right way. The saying we have in the world of sales and marketing is, find someone who has a problem you can solve and offer to solve it. It's the easiest way to make sales. So that's Wisdom Wednesday for today, is find a person or a group of people that have a problem that you can solve and simply offer to solve it. That's the WOW strategy, folks, in a nutshell. You find the who, the target audience, the prospects, the market, the who that you want to do business with that has a problem. They have a need that you have a solution to. Find that who, and then make them an irresistible offer of that solution. I can solve that problem for you. Almost by definition, it's irresistible because they really want to solve that problem, and you have the solution. So the only thing that happened at the end of that discussion is either an agreement that they will pay you, they will exchange something of value to you in return for you giving something of tremendous value to them, which is solving the problem that is keeping them up at night, that they just want solved. Or you will part and you will leave with, the shame is you will leave with their money still in their pocket and their solution still in yours. What a shame if you can't get to that connection. So here's the thing. People come to me all the time. They say, Steve, you're the marketing sales expert. Like, I'm having trouble. I created this product, or I have this service, or I have this whatever, and I can't sell it. Can you help me? Well, a few questions. I mean, it just, wow, that sounds, I'm a sales and marketing expert, so it sounds like, yeah, sure, I'm sure I can. But I ask a few questions, mainly along these lines. I'm like, well, what have you done so far to attempt to sell this thing? And if it turns out that they have engaged the market that has this problem that product or service is a solution to, and not buying it, then guess what? They're not buying it. Okay, so people often say, like, Steve, you're so good. They wrongly say, Steve, you're so good at sales, you could sell ice to an Eskimo. I'm like, I don't know if I could. I wouldn't. They don't need it unless they are going to sell ice in ice cube making machines, all those. I'm not. That's not what I do. I would not sell something to somebody that they don't need. So no, I could not sell ice to an Eskimo who is just going to stay in his igloo and sit there in wherever they sit at the North Pole or whatever. So that's not what it's about. And that's the toughest way there is to do sales, is to say, I've got something great that nobody wants, but how can I sell it? Like, you're doing it backwards. Okay, so take heed from something similar to this saying. Again, this saying was, if you want your enemy to become your friend, create a problem for it and then solve it. Sales is so much simpler than that. First of all, you're not selling to your enemies. So I would say, if you want your prospect to become your client, then figure out a problem that he or she has and then solve it. Offer to solve it. I mean, that's it. That's sales in a nutshell. So that's Wisdom Wednesday. So a little convoluted from the two mass murdering psychopathic criminals talking about manipulating friends into enemies by creating false problems. Sales is so much simpler than that. You don't have to create false problems. There's plenty of people with plenty of problems. There's 7 billion people or whatever on the planet, and we all have lots of problems. I got lots of things that I need solved. All I need is for somebody to say, hey, Steve, if you got this issue, or I know you got this issue because of whatever, you subscribe to this, or you're in this group, or because you wanted my this, or you attended this, whatever, you obviously are interested in this, I can solve it for you. I'm going to offer the solution. You give me fair value in exchange, your problem is gone, and we're both happy. So that's how, that makes sales easy. You make sales so difficult when you say, I know people want this, why they're not buying it? Hint, big hint, they don't want it. Okay, so you know they want, oh no, it's not they. You say, I know they need it. That's what people say all the time. I know people need this. Here's the deal. It's not what people need. It's what people want. And the easiest thing to do is to sell something to somebody they already want. You don't have to go through all this criminal enterprise of creating a problem for an enemy, solving it, turning them, convoluting, manipulating. It's not about that. Sales is not about manipulating and all that nonsense. It's about just finding people who have a problem and then offer to solve it if you can. And if not, refer them to somebody else that can. At least you make a friend, and maybe down the road they want to do business. They will give you a referral or whatever. That's it for Wisdom Wednesday. Thanks, Melissa, Carol, Merle, Adam, Stenner. Awesome to see you here, my friend. Rich, Stephen, and Scott DeSalvo. Fantastic group of successful business people and entrepreneurs here today. Thanks for all the likes and the comments anybody puts. I don't see any here or any questions, so we'll end today's video. I'll be back tomorrow. One of the most fun days on to me, but I have a lot of fun on Tech Thursday. I'm going to dip, tomorrow's Thursday, right? I'm going to dip into the vault. I'll pull something out in the Throwback Thursday and share it with, as always, a little business lesson attached. So we're going to have some fun, and we're going to learn how to improve our businesses. So thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks for the likes, and I will catch you tomorrow on Throwback Thursday. Bye-bye.